What's up everybody, I'm Jabroni, and today's video is about the here in my garage guy, the Lamborghini guy, the fuel units guy, the 7 bookshelves in my garage guy, the knowledge guy. He's the reason most people on YouTube today use AdBlock, making it pretty much impossible for YouTubers to get people to watch ads and make money on the site. Love him or hate him, today's video is about Tai Lopez. If you came anywhere near a computer in 2015, odds are you got absolutely blasted with Tai Lopez's ads. Tai is one of the classic examples of somebody who got rich by selling his advice to get rich. The original Here in My Garage video has over 70 million views, and Tai most likely spent at least $1 million on Google ads to get eyes on this video and drive traffic to his website. It's been 5 years since I've seen or heard anything from the Master of Knowledge, so I decided to look into what he's up to now and how it all panned out for him. So let's find out if Tai ever left that garage and how he even got there in the first place.
Because it wasn't that long ago that I was in a little town across the country sleeping on a couch in a mobile home with only $47 in my bank account.
One thing you should know about Tai is he spent his whole life in the pursuit of health, wealth, love, and happiness. And before his internet fame, he traveled to over 51 countries to interview people and ask them about these topics. One thing Tai talks about all the time is the importance of mentors. Tai says that mentors are a shortcut to knowledge and insight, and Tai believes if he can obtain enough insight, he'll finally achieve the good life. According to Tai, one of his first mentors was Joel Salatin. Joel is an author, lecturer, and farmer who runs Polyface Farm in Virginia. Tai says he spent 2 years working on Joel's farm and learning from him. Joel calls himself the lunatic farmer, and he's one of the most prominent advocates for sustainable meat and a return to farm-to-table food economy in America. After working with Joel, Tai went to live on an Amish farm for another 2.5 years. According to Tai, he wanted to see if he could find true happiness by living in close community with other people off the grid. He did that for 2.5 years, and then he called up his mom because he was out of money and asked if he could come live with her. She didn't have a room for him, but she did let him crash on the couch of her mobile home. This is the moment Tai talks about in his infamous ad where he says he only had $47 in his bank account and he was living on the couch of a mobile home. After this kind of rock bottom moment, Tai started aggressively seeking out mentors to teach him and guide him. Tai began working with investors, developers, and entrepreneurs, seeking out anyone who he thought knew more than him about money and business in hopes of working with them and learning from them. It was during this time that Tai began to explore the idea of repackaging the information he was getting from books and mentors and selling it. This would become the foundation of Tai's website. But anybody who runs a website knows that websites are useless without traffic. And Tai was about to teach the entire world a masterclass on driving traffic.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. It's fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills.
Tai had already experimented quite a bit with Google Ads when they first came out, but now that he had a product to sell and a website up and running, he decided to take a gamble and go all in selling ads to drive traffic to his website. In 2015, you couldn't really go anywhere on the internet without seeing Tai's face or hearing him talk about his Lamborghini. It's pretty safe to say that he spent millions of dollars on Google ads and Facebook ads. Even if the videos were annoying, they were extremely successful. Tai was selling information, education, but education is boring. So Tai got people's attention by showing off flashy foreign sports cars, a luxurious mansion, and often had models just hanging out in the background. He created a sense of urgency by telling people that life is short, but if you just listen to me, you can have all this too. Just pay me a little bit of money and I'll give you the access, I'll give you the secrets, I figured this out and you can too. Somewhere in his journeys, Tai had learned marketing psychology inside and out and was absolutely milking it for all it was worth. But spending all this money hand over fist had an unintended consequence other than driving traffic to his website. Tai accidentally became a living meme. YouTube commentary channels started making videos about Tai, meme makers started making hilarious remixes of his ads, and even news channels were talking about Tai Lopez. He had gone completely viral in the most artificial way possible. One of the most famous interactions Tai had with meme culture was the series of videos that H3H3 made about him. Ethan, along with a lot of other YouTubers, guessed that the Lambo Tai claimed to have bought was rented, and that even the house was rented. In H3's second video about Tai, Ethan found the mansion Tai was so fond of showing off on Zillow, proving that Tai didn't own it. Tai realized how much of an opportunity this was and invited Ethan to his house in a now famous video where Ethan looks for signs of fakeness while Tai's army of lawyers closely follow them all over the property. This video was so bizarre and so funny that it made Tai seem even more weird and eccentric than he already was. But it also gave casual YouTube viewers a chance to hear from Tai himself outside of an ad, and he did his best to lay on the charm and act genuine.
Tai, temporary identification. Explain this, dude. This is a one-day rental just for me while I was here.
No. I don't know why that's there. Here, let me get, while we take this off, I'm gonna get.
Very convenient. Let me check the other cars.
After a few months of this insane global marketing campaign, Tai finally started to slow down his ad spending. There are a lot of people online who say that Tai Lopez is the reason that they know what ad block is, so it's likely that his ads were bringing him less and less profit and were less and less effective. But that's pretty natural for any marketing campaign, and Tai had already made enough money to stop even calling it money.
Money, I don't call it money anymore. I call it fuel units. You must have enough fuel units.
During Tai's time as a living meme, he never stopped looking for mentors and exploring other ways to make money. One of Tai's mentors actually turned out to be a successful and long-lasting business partner with him, Alex Mayer. Alex's LinkedIn is extremely impressive, with a PhD in mechanical engineering and working for NASA as an aerospace scientist. It's obvious why Tai would want to seek him out as a mentor. Then Alex's career path took an interesting turn. He had been developing a dating app in his spare time, and in 2007 turned it into his full-time job. This dating app would be named Zoosk, and it was one of the earliest popular dating apps on the internet. This was Alex's first big successful startup, and would launch him down a path of serial entrepreneurship that continues until this day. Then in 2016, Tai and Alex partnered up to form MentorBox. This website and system is a natural extension of Tai's overall business strategy to repurpose, repackage, and resell information he's learned. MentorBox gives people the option to watch summary videos and do workbooks as opposed to reading the full book, which is how Tai reads books himself, part of his claim about reading a book a day. According to Tai, this website has been wildly successful and made Tai and Alex a ton of money. In this video from 2018, they claim to have 56,000 recurring monthly users. That's a lot of knowledge. Since the success of MentorBox, Tai and Alex have continued to invest together in an attempt to build a business empire. They've created a shell company to make these investments through called Retail E-Commerce Ventures, or REV for short. They've bought up multiple retail brands as they go bankrupt, paying for the name and branding rights so they can sell products online with the reputations of already established companies. This is pretty common venture capital strategy, but Alex and Tai have taken it to the next level, aggressively investing millions of dollars into businesses they previously hadn't worked in. As for Tai himself, he's still out there selling his knowledge, but he's become a little more low-key and a little more transparent about all the flashy things in his ads he used to get our attention back in 2015. In 2019, a former employee of Tai's did an interview on Joe Jitsukawa's YouTube channel. In it, he revealed that Tai doesn't own the house and cars like Ethan had said, but he does lease them. This actually makes a lot of sense because since Tai uses the cars and house for his business, he can write off the leases as a business expense instead of sinking money into equity. Tai would rather have the extra cash to continue investing in buying up businesses and ad space to grow his empire rather than permanently own Lambos and a mansion. This actually strikes me as a pretty smart series of business decisions, even if it is a little bit dishonest since the first thing he said in his ad was that he bought a new Lamborghini, and that begins to describe Tai's personal business model. He's selling an image of hope for the good life, and he's taking the mountain of cash he's making from that and investing it into real venture capital projects. As for his social media presence, Tai still posts on YouTube, but it's pretty obvious this isn't the focus of his attention anymore. He seems to have gotten everything he needed from YouTube and has moved on to greener pastures. In his recent live stream, Tai talks about one of his dreams being to own farmland all over the world and how much he loves farming. This, combined with all his venture capital projects, I think it's safe to say that Tai has finally left the garage of being a living meme. Thanks for watching, and stay weird, Internet. See you next time.